Well, folks, finally made it to Buc-ee's. I'm in Buc-ee's, Madisonville. It's been about 2 hours on the road, and we're going on a little trip. See this here? Picking up something new today. I'm super excited. The weather's been trash so far. Pretty sure I drove under a couple tornadoes, but I'm super excited. And I can't wait for you guys to see what I got. So I'm gonna hop back on the road and I'll catch back up with you guys in a few hours. All right, guys, so it's been just about 24 hours since we last saw each other. I spent about 20 hours driving, so I didn't really film too much, but here's Cream Puff. This is my new to me 1999 Toyota 4Runner Limited. It's got the locker, and she's no Cream Puff. That's what the seller told me a bunch of times. Now, this right here, I already know she's gonna be my pride and joy. She's a project for sure. Definitely no Cream Puff, but I'm super duper excited about this thing. It's got a plethora of problems. I can already tell you it's gonna be a money pit. We're not gonna talk about it too much though. Let me get her off this trailer and then I'll do a little walkthrough. There's a piece of key jammed in here. Yeah, it doesn't go in. And you know what else? This key starts the car, but this key unlocks the doors. I have to take this whole door panel apart and figure out how to get that key piece out of there. That don't sound too good, and that don't smell too good. All right, guys, so let's have a quick little discussion. I'm sure you're probably wondering, Tyler, why did you get a 3rd gen? You already have a 5th gen, and you have a fiance who should be your wife. Shouldn't you be spending this money on a wedding or honeymoon? Sometimes you gotta do things that just aren't logical. Let me tell you why I got a 3rd gen. All right, my 5th gen, it is brand new, okay? The bank owns it, all right? I don't own it, so that makes me a little bit more hesitant to go beat the crap out of it in the woods. Also, the other thing is my company pays me money every month for my vehicle. Now, they don't pay for my vehicle, they just give me cash allowance basically every month. So with that comes some rules that I have to follow. I have to be able to carry material inside my vehicle. I have to be able to fit inside of a parking garage, stuff like that. So for me to try to make my 5th gen a dedicated off-road rig and have drawers in the back and a refrigerator and a roof rack and a tent, it's just not practical because I would have to reset, you know, every weekend. I have to pull that stuff out, put my work stuff back in there. Some people do that, and kudos to you. I just don't have the patience for that. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna get a dedicated rig. Speaking of which, let's talk about why I got a smoking deal. You might not think it's a smoking deal by the time we go over all the things wrong with this thing, but anyway, let's get into it. First and foremost, you can tell it's green 4Runner, and clearly it's been in some sort of front end collision. The seller told me that somebody else that owned it before him ran into a trailer hitch or something like that, but I'm gonna guess that wasn't exactly truthful because there's no way that he's had this vehicle for 3 years with with the grill just bouncing around like that. So anyway, this is just an unpainted steel front bumper. I may or may not paint that and keep it, but I think I'm gonna try to find an ARB bumper to go there. It doesn't have the pieces that go here, the plastic piece that goes on top, and then, you know, the other piece. I don't even know what you would call those, but also I'm not sure if you can see it, but this right here is pinched in, so I might be able to bend that back, but I don't know what else is bent in there. I'm gonna have to take it apart and take a look at it. But I mean, all this stuff is just kind of like hanging out here. It's not super, I don't know. It's gonna take a little work, but. And then you might be able to see, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, right in there, there's a little tiny bit of a dent on the radiator support, but it's not puncturing the radiator and it doesn't overheat from what I could tell, so. Yeah, that's the situation with the front bumper. As far as the paint, they used to have a little bug deflector there, so I'm gonna have to use some Goo Gone and get this stuff off of here. And I can't tell, it doesn't look like the hood is bent. The hood looks fine, so I'm not super worried about that, but I think you can see all of the scratches. I mean, the clear coat on this thing is wrecked from front to back. It is wrecked. Like, whoever had this did not take care of it. They just didn't care. Now I get it, it's a 20-something-year-old vehicle, but you know, those kind of marks only happen from carelessness. So it's just my opinion. I mean, whoever was getting in and out of this thing was just like smashing their keys, just smashing their keys on there. So, you know, I mean, come on, how much effort does it take to hold your keys in your other hand? There's marks all over here. Gas tank, I mean, that's down to the metal. There's a little rust in there, so not great. Not great. This right here, let's go over that. And this is gonna be my adventure rig, you know, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but I want it to last. It's a 4Runner. If you take care of it, it'll run. This thing needs to be replaced. It's all cracked out. Now the good thing is the back window does roll down, the back hatch does open, so nothing wrong with that there. The struts actually hold it up. This stuff right here probably used to be black. I'm gonna go over that with some of that trim stuff, see if I can get that fixed up. I know you're probably a little bit concerned about what the frame looks like based on what you're seeing here on this hitch, but honestly the hitch is the worst of it. I'll probably get a grinder and go over that, take all the paint off and get it down to the metal, get that rust off there, and treat it with some Eastwood rust reformer. The back bumper, original rear bumper, I'm probably not going to do anything with it. You can see a little bit of rust coming through right here and a couple of dents and some rust right there, but I'm not stressing. There's a little bit of a hole in the tail light right there, which is kind of weird, but no biggie. It's not great, guys, but it's not bad. I don't know if you can see that little dent right there. There's a lot of little dents all over the place, little tiny dents. But I don't know if you can tell from the top, there's no delamination in the clear coat. So honestly, paint correction I don't think would be too bad. I'm not gonna worry about the dents except for that one up at the front by the headlight. I'm certainly gonna remove these steps here. And there's a good bit of rust in there, but as far as the interior is concerned, it's dirty. I mean, there's pubes everywhere, but it's not a total loss at all. Headliner's not hanging, doesn't look too bad. There's no leaks in here. Sunroof doesn't leak. Sunroof actually works. These little latches here, I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but sometimes those can break. These ones actually work, so that's exciting. I don't have any headrests, so I will definitely be perusing Facebook Marketplace to find little bits and pieces. There's little plastic covers that go in front of these. Those are missing. And then this one is completely detached, so I gotta figure out what's up with that. But it does have the original jack, which I'm actually super excited about, so that's cool. Another little dent here, but the rust isn't coming through. There's just a little bit on the underside, but not bad. Probably gonna need to replace all the door seals. But the door cards, all 4 of them, they look really good. All the windows work. You know, just a really good detail I think will make a world of difference in here. Yeah, door cards, they look pretty good. I'm not stressing about those. Just like I said, a detail. Now the seats. I'm kind of considering going to the cloth seats, even though I really wanted the leather interior. I mostly just wanted the beige. I might find the beige cloth ones. See if I can stick those on here. They are power seats, so that's cool. It does have 4-wheel drive. I hope I mentioned that. But yeah, I mean, it's missing some stuff. It doesn't have the little buttons in there for the garage door opener. But I mean, I bet you there's not very many that have that at all. So yeah, There's some other problems, and that button sticks. I have to, uh-oh, come on. You know, maybe that's why I've seen so many of them cracked, is people are jamming these things trying to get it undone. Now my battery's gonna die because the flashers are on. Way to go, buddy. I'll come back to that. It's an old vehicle, guys. It's like, what, 24, 25 years old? It's not perfect. And the blower motor makes a ridiculously loud noise, but the air conditioning is cold. The doors close and open like they're supposed to. They lock. The roof rack is missing one of the crossbars, but I'm sure I could snag one of those cheap. The brakes, completely shot, okay? They are awful. Like, I almost got in an accident while I was test driving this thing. It does have drums on the back, so they didn't do the conversion, which I'm not surprised about. There is some rust on the frame, but it's actually not that bad, okay? Let me see if I can focus in on that. Yeah, there's a little bit of flaky stuff, but honestly, I think I can just take a grinder to that, get it cleaned up, throw some Eastwood on there, and it's got a lot of life left. It really does. Obviously, major hot spots. It's gonna be, I don't know if you can see that, but right there, that is definitely a major hot spot. Let me see, get in there, buddy. Can you guys see that? Yeah, it's not bad. I can clean that up. It's not a loss. I've definitely seen much, much worse. Cross members, a little flaky, but not terrible. I'll get that cleaned up. Not worried about it at all. You might be able to see it. Let me see if I can get the camera in there. Oh yeah, so there is some rust on the body there. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that. Hopefully I can put something on it to stop it, but it's like that on both sides. I was hoping it was a side step, but I don't think it is. I think it's the body, so I will definitely take a look at that, but that's gonna probably be the biggest concern as far as rust goes. Oh, let's see, what else? Well, I know those work, so that's cool. I don't know, I guess I'll fire it up. So, I'm not sure if you can hear that, but this right here is probably gonna be one of the first things I fix. That's the blower. Can you hear that? It is loud. Now, luckily, this is an older vehicle. Shouldn't be too hard. I probably could just take out the glove box and get that replaced. But yeah, air conditioning blows ice cold, which is amazing. It's got the, I guess you call it the multi-mode 4-wheel drive, I don't know. And then it does have the rear locker. Now I'm not sure what's up with it because, you know, if I push the brake, put it in neutral, and then, let's see, I go down here. You heard 4-wheel drive engage, lights starting to flash. You know, now if I put it in drive and I roll forward just a smidge, all right, now it's solid. So 4-wheel drive engage, no issues there. Put it back in neutral. Now if I push the button here, get this actuated, I can see it blinking. I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera. Can you see that? Yeah, it's blinking, right? So I put it in drive, give it a little roll forward. I don't know how long it takes. Maybe I need to drive it a little further, but obviously I'm not off-road, so it's kind of difficult to drive it in 4-wheel drive. So maybe I'll get it another shot whenever I'm in a place where I can drive straight for a second. But anyway, so that's what I'm seeing right now, is it's not staying lit, which makes me assume that it's not actuating. So we'll deal with that when we get there. Obviously the main reason that I bought this vehicle is because it had a locker, so that is definitely something I'm going to want to address. See if I can get this one-handed. Yeah! Woo, that's a heavy hood. No gas struts. Living in 1999 here. It doesn't sound too bad when it's idling, but when you drive it, you can definitely hear it's misfiring. You can feel it. Alright guys, so here's my game plan for the 4Runner. There's probably about a 4 to 5 phase framework that I want to use for this vehicle that I would say probably applies to any older used vehicle. And I'm not trying to do a build out like Expedition Overland did with theirs. This vehicle is not going to be built for the Pan American Highway. Yes, I want reliability. Yes, I want capability. Yes, I want comfort. Those things are important, but I'm not going to go quite to the extent that they did. Really what I want to do is I just want to get this thing in tip-top operating condition. I want it to be reliable and capable and comfortable. So the 5 phases are going to be, number 1, urgent repairs. Right now I've got a misfire on like cylinder 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'm going to replace the coil pack, spark plug wires, get that knocked out. Hopefully that fixes the issue. We will see. And then the brakes are pretty light. I got some brake fluid I'm going to throw in there, see if that helps, but honestly brake lines are going to need to be replaced. Probably going to need to do a brake flush, so that's probably coming down the pipeline. I'm not going to replace the pads and rotors and calipers just yet, because that's going to be in the upgrade phase. I'm probably going to upgrade to the Tundra brakes, but we'll see. That's going to be phase 5. That's the last phase. So phase 1 is urgent repairs. Phase 2 is going to be a deep clean. So I think it's really important for your very first clean. Oh God, I got sweat in my eyeballs. First clean, you should do it yourself. Don't pay somebody else to do it, because you want to get your hands on your vehicle. You want to see every ding, every dent, every scratch, any problem area that you need to be aware of. It's probably best that you do the cleaning. Same thing with the inside. You can go through there and you can check what buttons work, what lights work. You can kind of start creating a list of all the things that need to be that need attention. So like in my case, the hazard light button sticks when you push it in, and it is very difficult to get it back out, to the point where I thought I might even crack the dash by accident trying to get that button out. So that's probably going to need to be cleaned, and that's just something I wouldn't know. You know, most people don't go push their hazard lights, so it's just something I kind of want to test out. Phase 3 is going to be the maintenance phase. So because I just got this vehicle and I don't think it was maintained properly by the previous owner, there's going to be a lot of work that needs to be done. It's going to need a timing chain, or a timing belt, excuse me. It's going to need a water pump. I'm going to do all new fluid, so transmission fluid, brake fluid, differential fluids, and transfer case, everything, all of it, complete. Go through the whole car, replace all the fluids. At that point I may do brake pads, depending on how much the Tundra brake upgrade costs. I haven't really done much research into that. Obviously I don't want to wait a few phases before my vehicle is safe to drive, so that's going to be high up on the list. Let's see, phase 4 is going to be the cosmetic fixes. All right, so like this front bumper, that's got to go. We need to fix it, right? It needs to be green, or it needs to be an ARB bumper or something like that. And then the last phase is the upgrade phase. So we're talking bigger wheels, bigger tires, lift, armor, all the goodies. But you got to make sure the vehicle works first before you dive into all that. So